Hey everyone, it's NoodleDog, and I have a question for you. How much do you think this all costs? Like, seriously, I want you to guess. I'll tell you the grand total a little later, but there's a reason why I've asked you. One of the most important things to an artist is their repertoire of tools at their disposal. Whether you're a greenhorn or have been at it for a while, at one point or another, you've had to buy art supplies. For digital artists, the process is simple. Got a PC, slap a tablet on that bad boy and get yourself some software and bam, you've got digital art. Kinda. You still gotta calibrate the tablet, make sure your drivers are maintained, and make sure you actually like the software features you have, among other things. Believe it or not, this can be more streamlined than the traditional artist's route. For those of you who have chosen the pencil and ink pen as your battle weapons, you've got some more choice to make as well. Paper, pencils, charcoal, fixative, blenders, and so on and so forth. It becomes a headache. Surprisingly though, both categories can have you in the same type of boat, and in a same bind, so to speak. If only there were a way to buy all of my art supplies from one convenient store, and even see them in person before I make a purchase. It would be so nice to actually talk to someone who could help me find the supplies that I need for whatever occasion. If only there was such a thing as, an art store? Art store. Art stores, yeah, that's a thing. These places are made for people like us to look for art supplies and see them before we decide to make a purchase. Unlike Amazon or other stores online, these places allow you to peruse and see things you may have never seen or heard of before. They also are wonderful places to talk to people that have some knowledge on what you might be interested in, just in case you're unsure of what you want to actually buy. Usually these type of stores come into two categories: hobby or craft stores and your locally owned art stores. Craft and hobby stores are often big box stores and tend to have a good bit of supplies for everyone. Because it's actually a craft store, you'll often find things for a more general audience. Things like crochet tools, models and figurines, and art supplies of decent quality. You'll probably come here to get started on your journey and find tools of good value. You may even be able to snag a coupon or two to sweeten the deal on some pricing you might have. But what if you're not into the old pencil and paper? Well, don't worry, you can find digital art tools like tablets in these stores as well, so you won't have to feel left out if you're looking to up your digital game. Stores like Hobby Lobby, Michael's, and Joann's are some examples, and most cities have at least one of these places in their midst. With these stores, you'll never really be too far from the supplies you need, but herein lies a bit of the issue. You'll often have to compete with others that have the same idea that you might. Box stores are attractive and have stock that can usually be more readily accessible. Someone might buy what you want and you'll be out of luck if there's a shortage or something like that. You may also have to deal with the lack of more enthusiast level tools and supplies in these stores. They may have some, but the scope isn't as vast as other places may be. Speaking of those other places, local stores are your other option as far as getting your tools. These places are likely owned by artists and keep a much more dedicated clientele than those craft stores we talked about. Here you'll find all manner of beginner and professional tools that you can bolster your art supply with. You'll likely be able to find exactly what you need and even alternatives if what you want isn't actually available. Going into a store like this for someone who hasn't been to one before might be a bit overwhelming, but the staff are usually very knowledgeable and will know good choices for you if you don't exactly know what you want. If you're looking for art forms that aren't usually a part of the common rabble, then you'll find supplies for those here as well likely. For example, I love printmaking, a lot, and I get all of my supplies from a local art store of mine. From paper to linoleum blocks to even my carving tools, it all comes from this store, and I've been going to the store since I started my art studies years back. Well, Noodle, it certainly seems like I can buy all my art supplies from a place like this. No need to go to Michael's and wait in line while people buy all their fake plants and sewing needles. Why wouldn't I go to my local art store in the first place? Cool your hides. There are some drawbacks here as well. First off, you have to actually find a store like this in your area. They don't always exist, and when they do, they can be hit or miss. You may also find these stores can only carry traditional media items, leaving the standard digital artist ready to have a fit when they see there's no such thing as a USB in sight. Some stores are even crazy enough to specify in particular art forms, like painting or graphic design materials and other stuff like that. This can lead to you also not getting what you want or what you're looking for. And here's another issue that can be a major turnoff, and I can completely understand if it is. Pricing. Let's have a look at the stuff I showed you earlier. I showed you a 32 pack of Copic markers, 6 loose Copic markers, 2 value packs of paintbrushes, and a 200 milliliter tube of titanium white oil paint. All together, are we counting this? That's 10 separate items that have a price all their own. How much did they cost? How much did 10 items cost at an art store? You ready for this one? You ready? $419.93. Holy shit, that's a lot for 10 items. And this is not abnormal price-wise. Just one loose Copic marker is $7.99, and that's not including tax, by the way. You have to shell out a premium just to ensure you get what you want from these places. Actual art stores can be quite pricey, and if you aren't careful, you'll be leaving with a large chunk of money eaten out of your wallet. The staff will likely do their best to help mitigate the damage, but these stores are offering high quality material and they expect you to pay up. Dude, I'm dead serious when I say my traditional art supply alone is worth somewhere in the realm of $3,000 of unused material. Adding up my digital supply, it's preposterous how much money I've spent on digital art and traditional art alone. So, what is a person to do? How do I make the most use of my money to get what I need? Reasonably at that. Well, the answer is to pick your battles, frankly. Most times, paper and basic supplies can be picked up from a craft store that has a coupon system to maximize your money's reach. And if that store can't help, try to support a local business if you can. It'll likely be money well spent. For me, I try to go to my local store as much as possible, and only go to box stores when I really want to save money on certain items like paper and pencils. Yes, it's a pain that I'm going to shell out more money, but the staff know me better when I walk in, and they ask me how my day is, and suggest new products based on what I normally purchase. You really can't beat that. Amazon and even more online art stores like Blick and Jerry's Artorama are always an option, and you may even save money. But it always helps to have a look at what you want in person. Being informed helps a lot when it comes to investing in your hobby or career. Art stores are super useful and worth a look. It's something that I'm really passionate about. At the end of the day, art costs money, and if you want to do your best, it doesn't hurt to know what options you have and find people who are willing to give you a hand. And hey, I like to think that's pretty cool. I like to think anyway. And with that wraps it up for today. If you've enjoyed this video and learned something new, like the video and give me more ideas in the comments down below. Want to see more videos? Consider subscribing and watching some of my other antics on the screen. I'll upload again as soon as I can. Work's been rough, but I haven't forgot about YouTube yet. Stay safe, everybody, and I'll see you dogs later.